Welcome everybody to your first semifinals match for Beyond the Summits World Tour. It is 9 a.m. here. It is 6 a.m. for my co-caster Luminous, but we are excited nonetheless. Together we are David and David. I, of course, being LD, both of us from DotaCommentaries.com, and this is Beyond the Summits World Tour. While we get ready for the lobby to load in, we actually do have a pregame show prepared for you. But before we talk about that, Lumi, how are you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. This is a very, very highly anticipated semifinal match. I'm glad I get to cast it. Gods has not struck his whatever backstab that he's trying to do to me. I get to cast some Chinese team. He does not. So right off the bat, already feeling pretty good.
You know, he has a magical way of only showing up when it's an all Chinese affair for these matches.
Right.
Gods definitely loves his Chinese Dota as well. But I'm glad to have you here with me. And boy, do we have two strong looking teams coming to this match. EHOME and IG both undefeated in this tournament. They have dropped individual maps here and there. I think for EHOME it's only one that they lost to Complexity, who's also been looking very good as of late, and who also is in the semifinals of this tournament. But or no, sorry, no, they're not. Actually, I'm thinking of something else. But they got knocked out. Nonetheless, both teams overall 4-0 in the tournament so far, and looking to go even farther as we head into the semifinals.
I do apologize if there's some aviary sounds in the background.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good.
I live in the airport and there's a lot of
There's a lot of birds there.
birds.
You'd think the birds would be a little afraid to fly around at the airport.
Nah, man, they fly next to the planes, no problem.
So as we look specifically at both teams here, let's actually jump into IG. IG is a team that really likes their strong lanes, likes to have that strong early game presence. Even when they pick up the hard carries, you usually don't see them go for ultra late game. And I'd say the same is true for eHome as well. But they like heroes you can see here like Windrunner, Queen of Pain, Broodmother, Invoker. Just very, very dominant early to mid game heroes who also scale pretty well. Usually multiple semi carries, and I feel IG is a pretty similar style as well.
Yeah, both teams definitely know how to play the
Or
Fort Protect
eHome rather.
one, but
Sorry, go ahead.
both teams definitely know how to play the Fort Protect one strat, but more importantly, like you said, top double or even triple semi carry. And of course, being Chinese teams, both teams know how to put the enough supports, enough farm on the support, and that is becoming extremely important. As some of the supports cannot be picked if you don't put enough farm on them. Specifically, Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon with farm gets really good as well. And well, some teams like to run that line as well. We saw LG run it last time.
Ooh.
Remember that? It was or was it IG?
No, it was eHome, I think, who ran
It
it
was eHome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with Dai
eHome
playing it.
X. How can I forget about that? Right? Support line getting mass amount of farm. Just Blink Dagger really early on. So this is kind of the support lineup that really goes back to support the carry. I think in the past we asked who's the carry, who's the better carry here? Is it Morphling? Is it Anti Mage? Is it Lone Druid? All that stuff. It really comes down to the supporting cast. And again, both teams love to perform on the support and generally works out very well.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's not just that, it's also both teams having fantastic support players, especially eHome, QQQ and Dai, just as of late. Well, I say Dai and QQQ, although in the past it has been PCT playing that support role. As of late, he's seen more of a transition into the carry or even semi-carry role. We've seen him on Storm, we've seen him on Morphling. But whatever he plays, you're right, it really is all about those supports. Getting the farm, getting the levels, and it makes sense. They don't just give them farm, they give them heroes that scale well with it and that need the levels as well. Heroes like Lion, Shadow Shaman, and Rubik, who benefit a lot from getting it.
Definitely.
And I think we've talked about IG, and just real quickly, we'll go through eHome as the game is loading. We should be getting underway momentarily. Interesting here, they are 9-1 with Sand King, 5-1 with Lina, and it makes a lot of sense. These are heroes that are very aggressive in the early to mid game, but also can benefit from some items, give you a lot of burst damage, give you a lot of killing potential. And eHome definitely likes their hero kills. As far as the Chinese teams go, one of the more aggressive teams out there.
I like to just quote something, some insider information that HE or tournament organizer got us. He has a good connection with the Chinese players, and he was talking to QQQ, and I quote, and he said they might pull something amazing for today's game against IG. He said they have a strat plan for TI2, but might use it against IG today because of, just rivalry and then whatever else. So we might be in for a treat, a strategy that is safe for TI2, but might happen here for the Beyond the Summit World Tour.
Well, you gotta figure it's in the player's best interest to maybe show a little discipline and not reveal that. But apparently, uh, They faced IG recently in Ace, and I believe Ace or IG actually beat them there. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case, and so they sort of want to get a little revenge coming into this game. Either way, we are ready, guys. Game number 1, the draft is underway, so let's jump right into it. And in fact, here we go. IG on the Radiant, EHOME on the Dire. Ferrari being shown his proper respect, I might add, that Invoker gets banned out. And then aside from that, it looks like we have the Broodmother of King J banned out as well. And then just some strong standard bans all around for both teams.
Yeah, nothing too crazy out of the ordinary just yet. We are seeing Darkseer still within the pool, and QQQ is thinking about not banning that one. He's thinking. Now, giving away Darkseer, he does give it away, Darkseer. Giving away Darkseer doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We actually seen Darkseer lose like 2 or 3 games in a row last time we've been casting, but it just makes the draft a lot difficult to approach. And a lot of times when Darkseer loses, it generally is not his fault, right? He always pulls his own weight. He's just an awesome hero to have on your team. Whether you're drafting or playing, the lanes work out fine. You could always jungle. You could always long lane that. I mean, everything with Darkseer just make your draft a lot easier.
Yeah, you know, I was casting CLG versus Complexity. I guess it was 2 or 3 days ago at this point, and they picked a Darkseer, and he didn't get one combo until about 35 minutes in. They were way behind, enemy team pushing to the base. But finally, Darkseer hits that vacuum wall combo. The fight is won, and from there, CLG end up winning the game, never looking back. And that was Complexity playing them. A team that knows how to deal with Darkseer better than most, as they run him quite a bit. But it's just this hero that if you ever find that opening, if you ever hit the initiation, it could be completely game-changing. So IG, they're not going to go for the Darkseer. In fact, they opt for the Nature's Prophet.
Yep. And here comes the Darkseer being picked up as well as the Rubik. Rubik being played mostly as a support in the Chinese scene. Definitely he could be swinging back to the semi-carry or solo mid-row. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I definitely saw the game between Complexity and CLG as well. Now, not to spoil it with everybody. Well, not sure if LD spoiled himself. Of course, you could check out the VODs on DotaCommentaries.com, but it just shows you the power of Darkseer in that one key vacuum hits. You could turn any kind of team fight around, especially a team fight that... especially a game that you've been losing massive lead and many team fights in a row. Just one vacuum could turn it around. That's what Darkseer could always offer. You're never cold. You're never dead when you have Darkseer on your team. And
I also like
to see that EHOME picks it up first.
I like the fact they combo with Rubik. I mean, not just because Rubik is, you know, a strong support here in general, but also one of the ones that can give Darkseer some trouble. That telekinesis is very good at dealing with Darkseer, trying to run away with Surge. And then if you ever steal any of his abilities, like Vacuum, like the ult, that can be pretty devastating. So it's a hero that EHOME like to run themselves, and then it's also a hero that can deal with Darkseer. So a smart pickup there. We'll have to see where IG want to go from here, though. Shadow Shaman is on the board. A strong pushing hero, also great support. But it's the Chen as well. How could I forget about him? And the Tinker. Wow, these are 2 heroes. In fact, all 3 of these heroes see plenty of bans, not just in the Agency, but also in the Western. But here they slip through.
Yeah, common trend that we see lately here in the first stage of the draft, captains don't really care about picking hardcore lockdown heroes. And I think many times in the past, like, oh, I feel like this team don't have enough lockdown against the Morphling, against the Lone Druid, or whatever else. But captains lately just forget about, you know, or they don't care about the lockdown, at least in the early get-go. And then they supplement it if they need to actually get it. They picked up the Shadow Shaman or Line or whoever else in the second stage. I just want to say, though, this Chen ganks out of jungle might not be as effective because Surge is going to pull anybody away, and Rubik Telekinesis picks up a hero or creep and just toss it back to Chen, and suddenly everything gets done. So I feel like EHOME is really capable and really prepared for this jungle gank out of Chen. But again, you have a Nature Prophet, and that could easily turn around the equation when there's a +1 gank coming in from, you know, seemingly nowhere.
And they go for the Chaos Knight here, so just going for that burst damage, that initiation potential. And this is some scary initiation for EHOME right now. Vacuum, Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift, and everything Rubik brings to the table too. They have a lot of lockdown already. Whereas you look for IG, sure, they've got that great global potential, but no stuns right now. Literally 0 reliable disables. I'm sure they'll pick them up in the second stage of the draft, but EHOME off the bat, if they want to go gank heavy, if they want to play aggressive, they have some great heroes to do it. It is dangerous diving against a Tinker, a Prophet, and a Chen. But if anyone can do it early, it probably is this EHOME lineup.
I like the Brewmaster ban here by QQQ. It makes me want to think they want to set up some Black Hole, and Darkseer Black Hole is always where you want to be. And I'm getting my voice pipe ready for that one.
Yeah, Lumi, just want to double check with you. Some people are apparently hearing you, but you're popping in and out. of the audio for Dota TV. So just make sure your open mic threshold is all the way to the left. And then if you haven't already done so, type plus voice record in the console. And that hopefully should fix any issues that people are having. But
Open
ancient
mic
apparition.
threshold. Sorry.
That's okay. Just add plus voice record in the console as well.
Sure.
So you mentioned Panda getting banned as a smart choice, and on top of that, Tidehunter. So EHOME really want to have teamfight supremacy here. And in terms of disables, they definitely do. But IG still have great global and sort of AOE nuke damage between Prophet and Tinker already, and they go for Venomancer. So IG really focusing on having strong lanes, being able to push and counter push effectively. They want to have the map control advantage, even if they can't win team fights.
Right now, Enigma feels like the best pick in the world. You have the Darkseer combo with. There's 0 stun on the enemy team to actually cancel your black hole, so you could actually just get a 3-man black hole, and that would be good enough. So I do not see why they won't pick it up. They also banned the Tidehunter, another hero that's very, very powerful against Enigma. So there's literally no answer to Enigma in the game right now. Also, you can see that the Invictus Gaming team is banning Ancient Apparition, a very, very stable lane partner for the Chaos Knight. But again, there's a lot of option here. They could, pick up a Crystal Maiden, and that would be fairly decent. The Lina Inverse, a Chinese favorite of late, is here as well. And the burst damage, of course, always appreciated against 4 squishy so far.
Yeah.
I'm liking the draft here for EHOME so far, and that's not surprising at all, considering that they have Darkseer. Again, it just makes your life so easy when you're picking.
It's kind of weird to say because a couple of months ago it would always be Ancient Apparition you expect to be partnered with Chaos Knight. That would be the ideal lane partner. But nowadays, I'm with you. I really think Lina is... I think it's even the more popular combo over that. And what it gives you is more burst damage, a reliable... Well, not reliable, but a strong AoE stun. And that's something that Ancient Apparition doesn't really provide. Sure, you might be able to lock down one target if you get the combo off in lane, but come mid to late game, heroes are going to have 4 stats, heroes are generally going to be more mobile. AA, doesn't have that spammable disable, and that can make all the difference. IG, they get a Windrunner. This used to be Chuan's signature hero. Not sure that he'll be playing it as he runs. You normally plays jungle for them, so he'll probably be on the Chen. But they really don't. They just opt for another strong mid game here. No hard carry for them. No reliable, really strong lockdown. They have Sprout, Shackle Shot, some cute little combos. But not too much to deal with this Morphling in terms of direct disables. And that can be trouble. Not to mention the Chaos Knight and the Darkseer.
Now, what we see in the past is Morphling getting to late game is always a scary thing, but Hexstick is always an answer. So if this game goes late, there's 3 Hex carriers, Windrunner, Tinker, Nature's Prophet, all of which can get a lot of farm, especially that Nature's Prophet as well as Tinker. So I think they should be fine. There's Enigma pickup here, no surprise for me. Now, here's the thing. How do you actually push against this squad? Going up the hill is going to be somewhat annoying. March of Machine, Wrath of Nature. The Creequilibrium is going to be a really annoying thing to push across the river. Even so, even if you have the pipe from the Darkseer, it is still difficult to walk up the high ground. Like, again, March just does so much damage.
It does, it does. I am just trying to troubleshoot my audio settings here. It looks like... Because apparently they couldn't hear you. Then they hear you. Now they can't hear me. I have not changed any audio settings. So guys, I really do apologize for the audio difficulties. It was working when we tested it, and we haven't changed anything. But let me try. I might actually just use virtual audio cable for today and see if that helps. So.
Well, meanwhile you're testing your stuff, I'll introduce all the players in the game. MMY here from EHOME playing the Rubik. We have Chaos Knight handling Lamb. King J gonna be playing the Enigma. PCT's Morphling, so playing the carry once again. And we do have QQQ playing the Darkseer. We have a remake coming up soon, or right now in fact. So we'll do that.
Well, we forget about them. We focus on this game, which is PCT on that hard carry Morphling. Looks like he was pulled some regen. QQQ gonna be playing the Darkseer. Lamb on the Chaos Knight. King J gonna be playing that Enigma, and MMY will be on the Rubik.
They're kind of moving down to the Roche pit very early. I don't think they're doing any first minute Roshan. They definitely do not have that capability. Most likely we'll just be going into the jungle. Ooh, smoke it up! Looks like they're gonna go for a gank. This team, by the way, has insane level 1 kind of killing combos, so we should see EHOME pulling something off. Unfortunately, they would not be finding anybody. Alright, on the IG side, we have Chuan playing his Chen YYF, so we're going to see some Yayo Feng Shackle Shots. The old school, the original YYF Shackle Shots. 430 Ferrari going to be going on the mid lane here. On the top, we have Faith playing the Venomancer, and then now, finally, who is their last player? It's still in the fountain. It is going to be Zhou playing the Nature's Prophet. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, playing that Nature's Prophet, probably going to summon another wave of Trance here and send them out to scout. And, well, they don't actually spot anyone with that smoke, but they get down some really good wards here. Interesting, they put one on the ramp, really wanted to spot movement around the jungle, not trying to really block too many camps, and a lane ward. We might see a 4 or 5 man push early, Lumi. In fact, are they going to do that? They don't have a Ring of Basilius, so maybe not, but they could build one quickly.
I think they perhaps want to start as a tri-lane or quad push bot lane. This ward does actually block the camp to the left. I'm pretty sure it does, especially if you place a little bit more to the left. In that position, I do believe it does. But right now, yeah, they just want the vision in the jungle as well as the river. And blocking that camp won't be too big of an issue, considering that I think Zhou right now would not jungle, or neither would the Chen. But yeah, blocking that camp will give them, will block the quick access for the Chen to pick up that big Centaur creep or big Furball creep, which is going to be absolutely huge to slow down this this 4-man push on the bot lane.
Yeah, there's really nothing IG can do to slow down this push. Even if Tinker was here, Mark the Machines would maybe help, but realistically, he's probably just going to die if anyone tries to defend bottom. So they're almost certainly going to lose 1 or 2 towers very quickly. And I guess the question is, can they get a trade-off? Good, I'm so glad to hear it, Atri. Dota TV is working. The bane of my existence is the bane no longer, at least not for this game. But yeah, can IG find a trade-off? Because they are going to lose this very quickly.
Well, let's look at Winra up top. She does have a Ring of Protection being picked up. Faith has unfortunately skilled a Venomous Scale. The question is, what does Faith want to do? Does Faith want to go to the bot lane, which I think is the best kind of reaction? You want to let the EHOME squad take up this tier 1 tower. You don't want them to take it, but there's really nothing you can do about it. But you protect that tier 2 venomously, and make sure that Venomancer is there to protect it. You may even see wards at level 2 and level 3. Now, if they don't want to send Venomancer to the bot lane, well, he can definitely take wards N2 and 3 and try to push up top 1 and go for a trade there instead. Because even though there's 4 here on the bottom, Zhou is going to be trying his best, especially the fact that he has treants to slow it down. But here comes QQQ. Now, right now he thinks, oh, solo creep skipping. Here comes a CK, and he knows what's up immediately.
The jig is up.
And the jig is up. Now, earlier, if you guys weren't here, I did mention that EHOME say that they had a plan strat for TI2. I'm not sure whether this is a plan strat, but we've seen a lot of Chinese teams actually do this in the past.
Yeah, we've also seen a lot of Southeast Asian teams doing it. MUFC and Orange both favor this quite a bit. We've even seen some CIS teams from Eastern Europe, like Darren and Virtus Pro have done this too. So, I mean, really, this is something that's been a lot of teams experimented with. I like the fact up top they are auto-attacking the creep wave constantly, trying to get the split push going, but it doesn't look like it will be as fast, at least not just yet. The Eidolons are really going to make a difference here.
Venomancer will be hitting level 2 right now on the top lane here, and let's see what skill choice he selects. There's going to be the Venomous ward, and he's going to be plopping it down very, very quickly. And very good micro by Zhou. He was doing the treants, making sure he's pulling the creep away as far from his tower as possible, trying to keep that one alive, but it would not be enough, as the right clicks here from the creeps will actually just get the job done. No Ring of Protection, nor does it have a Ring of Basilius, but regardless, Chaos Knight gets a tier 1 tower, and the response is going to be a trade here. We see that Wowgen tornadoing up top, destroying this creep wave. Of course, Wowgen does give +3 armor for the entire creep wave as well. Unfortunately, he lost that one, but this tower is going down. I'm very surprised no wards have been dropped down for Venomancer.
Yeah, he leveled them up. Maybe doesn't want to spend the mana until they get higher level. They should get the tower here with the Ring of Basilius. And for EHOME, they had 4. They got the tower down about 45 seconds earlier. But then they back off. They buy some items from the side shop. Will they continue trading? Trading against the global lineup like this can be dangerous because once Taker gets his boots of travel, once they get those basic items up, it's going to make it a lot easier for them to constantly apply pressure to all these lanes. For the moment, it seems like they are going to abandon the split push and just do some offensive jungling here. Maybe even go for a gank mid to try and slow down Ferrari, who Ferrari is not going for March this game. He opts for laser rockets. At least not yet. He could go back for it. But so far,
yeah,
it's the burst damage for him.
Laser rocket in the mid lane, a little bit more popular and a little bit more important to deal with the PCC right click. A lot of players kind of underestimate Morphling's right click, and when he waves on you and trying to go for the kill, laser is what you definitely need to save yourself. And I guess he did not expect really this 4-man push. Yeah, the damage from the laser is absolutely insane. I guess he just didn't expect the 4-man push on the bot lane, and even if he got March, he would not really swing to the bot lane and start defending it. So I feel like this is an okay build on mid lane.
You know, I actually think he waited to see until they backed off before he ended up skilling up rockets and taking a second point in laser. Because he had a point in laser and he wasn't actually using it for a while there. So, to the extent that's true, really smart play by Ferrari. If they went for the push, maybe he would have opted for March, but they choose to back off and just take the 1-for-1 tower trade. Seems like overall pretty even. Zhou, 800 gold on him, gonna be working towards. Well, we'll have to see. What does he want to get? An early mech, maybe. The head of Midas can be great in a game like this if you can get it off at a reasonable time. Because with Tinker, the two of you can just constantly be a nuisance, pushing all the lanes. For the moment, no real commitment, and it's actually the pressure is going more on IG side. 3 heroes grouped up top, including the Chen. Chuan already hitting level 3, and they're looking to put some pressure on this tier 2.
Yeah, QQ trying to defend by putting the Iron Shot on the creeps and slowly pushing that one. Faith dropping more wards, and here comes a backstab against Tron. I don't really think he's going to get the kill. The body block attempt from the Wildkin, but they've done more than enough to force QQ out of lane. The Tornado gets summoned, or it can be summoned, and that could slow down this creep wave. And that should be more than enough to give him a lot of time to take down this tower. There we go, Tornado gets summoned. Unfortunately, the siege unit without any creep wave support is going to get knocked down very, very quick. Well,
not just that, a single level 2 Iron Shell is enough to kill a full HP Wildkin before the Tornado can kill that melee creep. That's, well, it's not dead, but it's just about. There you go, it drops down. In terms of our farm, how are we doing for that? Windrunner leading the charge, and that's what you'd expect to some degree. Wait, where's Windrunner actually laning?
Top?
She's top, yeah, but I mean, this lane has been fairly abandoned. For some reason I was thinking Windrunner was on the dire side. I'm like, wait a second, no, there's no Windrunner down here. But Lamb is getting absolute free farm on the bottom lane in exchange for that Windrunner. Surprisingly, only 14-9, but that should pick up pretty soon.
Yeah, Chaos Knight, I guess in terms of farm exchange, Chaos Knight did last at a tower, so very far ahead in terms of that. Does have to go for the Treads upgrade if he wants to do so. You can see that Zhou right now, just, I mean, he's not really losing the bot tier 2 tower, nor is he really in the lane, so just good awareness by him. You could see that if he does see the push coming, he will immediately go for the TP. But the TP goes up on the top lane. They want QQQ, the net for one creep. They're going to summon some trees right now. They're waiting for the surge to happen before the net, but, well, surge never came because the burst damage was too high. Here we go, the skeleton gets summoned, the trees are on top of the tower right now, and the wards are stacking up. IG looking for a tier 2, and it's the Dire team responding. No, they don't have the pushing power without a Darkseer on the bot lane. I feel like EHOME is getting outdo in their own game.
Right, EHOME are the ones, they bring something unconventional, pocket strat, if you will, to the table. And then it's IG who are really seizing the moment here. They get first blood. How are they doing in terms of gold, actually? About a 1k advantage, so they're out farming EHOME overall. They traded towers evenly, and now they're looking to pull ahead with that. Even if they don't kill this tier 2 yet, it is quite low, and that means at some point in the mid game, Tinker or Prophet is going to knock this one down. No question about that.
Right, we were talking about earlier, especially in this draft, that there's just more stuns on the Dire side. There's very little ways to lock down that Morphling, so in my humble opinion, I still believe that Morphling, when this game goes late enough, he should have the advantage. But one of the things against that is getting those 3 early hexes. Let me tell you, when you are up in this situation and you're pushing a lot of towers, and the fact that they are going to be difficult to push against your tower because you have Wrath of Nature, Marcher Machine, you are going to just build that goalie to build those hexes. And I think IG right now in a fantastic position to claim their mid game for them.
Yeah, they are. Ferrari has opted to go back for 3 points in March, so he takes 2 in laser early just for the extra burst damage versus Morphling, and it's pretty damn strong, even only at level 2. 160 damage, pure damage nuke, probably about equivalent to 3 auto attacks or so. And so that works out pretty well from the laning stage, but he wants to have that mid-game presence, the pushing, the anti-pushing. And EHOME only getting 1 tower, not killing Tinker yet. You talked about it. How do you push against this lineup? If you get Tinker his early levels, if you get him his quick boots of travel, which he's on track for a pretty quick pair, it's going to be really hard to knock down any towers, as strong as that Morphling can be. He would like to have some tower gold in his pockets. Really, this whole team, pretty farm and level dependent for EHOME.
Yeah, they definitely need to go for pickoff, which fortunately for them, they have the hero to do so. Again, the Surge Reality Rift. Morphling with Surge, as well as the fact that he could always go for Shotgun. They have the hero killing potential, but will the IG team fall for it? That's the question. One thing I want to point out is that YYF on the top lane here has already picked up Arcane Boots. In the standard game of Windrunner, you generally see Phase Boots a little bit more, but in this game, in this situation, mana is extremely important to sustain this kind of push on the top lane. And this Arcane Boost is going to do so much to allow them to spam those wards, spam those Treant summons, as well as whatever Tron wants to do with his mana, Test of Faith on the enemy hero per se. So yeah, this Arcane Boots Not an investment that will help Luminous in the long run, but for now, it's doing so much for IG. And this tier 2 tower, I don't think it'll live for a long time.
Yeah, I think the arcane boots are a great choice in this game. It's not just for this pushing stage. They do have a lot of heroes that will benefit from those, and maybe this opens up the Chen to rush something like a mechanism instead of actually getting a pair of his own. Chuan just sitting on boots right now, only 300 gold in the bank. He bought an early smoke, has not had any kind of an opportunity to use it, and he was very poor to start this game. I believe he bought observers and sentry wards because all he had was a smoke, a branch, and 2 clarity. So the fact that there hasn't been too much fighting early. Chuan is going to be very happy about that. Fighting with no items is Chen, delayed boots, even slow levels. That could be tough, but had a good start, and now he's looking pretty solid. Not far off of level 5, in fact. And well, we've seen Chen sometimes. They really have a slow start. Other times, great, free farm in the jungle. Chuan is finding it not really just by jungling, but also by contributing to the team here, pressuring the top lane.
Yeah, I think that's the important point. I mean, sure, you can get a level 5 Chen, but that also means you're not doing anything for your team. But here, he's on a good track for his quick level 6, and he still is doing so much. He has pushed down a tier 1 tower, worked down to tier 2 to have HP, got a kill against Darks here. I mean, that's all you could really ask for a Chen, and he's looking to knock down that tier 2, and at the very least, force a couple of TPs as they push up to tier 3 as well. More flings back, and looks like we're going to have a game back on our hands, and here we go. IG looking to take down this tier 2, and I don't think EHOME could defend this.
Yeah, what's the response going to be here from EHOME? They have one here on the jungle. King J not even trying to push bottom right now. Looks like Lamb, picks up power treads and a TP scroll, but you're right, this tower is forfeit. There's just no way for them to defend it, and they don't get a trade either. They give up first blood, they now give up a tier 2. It's not as though things are falling apart, but when you run a 4-man push from level 1, you expect to be the ones getting the early towers, not losing them to IG.
Yeah, another good Tron play here. He used the Dark Troll Warlord and pulled a creep wave to the level 1 camp, and allowed that level 1 camp to take care of that tier 3 creeps. And again, more ways to push this. And it looks like QQQ finally has stabilized this, but YYF is going to just keep staying on the top lane and try to do more havoc. They control the jungle. Look at the deep offensive warding by both teams. They want to control the enemy jungle and make sure there's no backstab attempt. Now, EHOME's still farming a little bit. King J is trying to catch up in terms of EXP and farm. He's doing a very good job at it. We'll hit level 6 very soon. I imagine he's going to go for the mech. Or will MMY go for it? Not too sure.
I'm not sure, but you talked about the aggressive warding. Look at how this allows YYF to play. He's almost like a broodmother at this point with that ward up, just pressuring the base pretty much at all times. And with Tinker and Prophet able to join as well, as long as they keep these wards up, with the arcane boots able to spam power shot, this is gonna be a big nuisance on the side of EHOME.
Yeah, he's keeping his Ring of Protection turned on, Ring of Assays turned on. He just wants to make sure that Darkseer, if he's defending, he's not doing any of sneaky business, like jungle farming along the side. QQQ, look at a power shot spam. He is literally, you're right, playing like the Brewmother. But on the mid lane here, the Venomancer putting the wards. We see this so often, right? Once the Venomancer gets his level 5, level 6, he just sit in the mid lane and just work for that level 7, level 8. You can't really kill him. He's constantly going to push your lane, and it's just really annoying.
Yeah, don't know why Faith even bothers with an urn, because all he's going to be doing for the next 5-10 minutes is spamming these wards in it. Of course I say that, it's a great item to have on the team, but realistically, like you said, he's just going to camp here, really live in this middle lane. Both teams just have a gentleman's agreement to farm in each other's jungles. This is very strange, I have to say. By the way, Zhou has just picked up his hand of Midas, 8 minutes in. Only level 4, but this Midas will help him get 6 a lot quicker.
I mean, 8 minutes in is the ideal time you want to get it before. And considering what he had thrown against him in the beginning of the game, that's a pretty good time. And now he's going to catch up and farm. Still looking for that level 6, which is going to be crucial on the bot lane here. They're going to focus on Faith. Faith just eating the Eidolon damage and the waveform for the kill. Morphling needing that one. And killing Venomancer here is pretty big. Again, you slow him down. Now more time has to be dedicated to him as he park in the mid lane for that lead XP. Meanwhile, though, whenever we do see Venomancer in the mid lane, Ferrari has been going to the Ancient Camp just above it. Look at the stack already going on. Look at how low they are. He's already been marching it. And I think that's the reason why he went to max march by 7. It's such a powerful build. You get to earn so much more gold. And here we go. Venomancer TP on the top lane. And look at them. Ferrari now going back to Ancient. They're so prepared. So well-oiled machine is IG. They ran this 1,000 times.
It's pretty clear they've practiced this one before. Ferrari pulling the Ancients, wall dropping a march just to get the damage out as quickly as possible. He'll go back in for 1 or 2 more waves. It should be able to kill it off with the max march. That's also going to give him level 8, at which point he'll have rearm. The boots of travel should be online. So it's all just piecing together at the perfect moment here for him. Chuan hitting level 6. Everybody on IG is getting their levels, getting their farm up. And we talked about it in the pregame. These Chinese teams so good about finding that farm, finding the levels for the supports. The same true for EHOME as well. Arcane boots up on the Enigma. Rubik's a little bit less. He's got his boots, but even there, he's level 5. How often do we see in European Dota games at this point we'll have like a level 3 Tide Hunter Sand King walking around? It's it's just a different style of play to some degree, but IG getting these core levels up very early.
And getting levels is so key against Chaos Knight, who loves to throw his body in the mix of things. He needs to stun. Now Haystrom popped on PCT, he sees Chuan, he's trying to get the right click. Wait for a minute for Zhou, aggressive play here, forces the TP back against the Zhou. That should be okay. QQQ, nice Shackle shot. They may have one stun, but that one stun stuns quite a bit. Reality Rip against Faith. Faith is going to get picked off here, and that should be it. I don't think EHOME's going to get any more kill. And now we do see the teleport back here from Ferrari. That's a boots travel already finished 10 minutes in.
10-minute boots of travel, Midas up on the Prophet. IG, they have their core farming items, they have the abilities up to do it. But do you want to farm against EHOME? It seems like they want to apply some pressure towards mid. It's pretty tough. We talked about how good IG's anti-push is. EHOME's not so strong now, but decent at this point. And we'll get really strong later on. 2 seconds stun to YYF. Wait for it, it's going to hit, but PCT a long way from home. Should be okay, Shackle Shot not going to let Surge back. Just blows being exchanged left and right. Both teams blasting away, unloading on each other. But for the most part, nobody dying just yet.
Yeah, mid tower gets denied here by QQQ. Pretty big thing. Don't underestimate the late game power of IG. 3 Hex is a very, very scary thing. In fact, I might even favor the Radiant having better late game despite there's a Morphling and a CK. CK in terms of late game potential actually is kind of weak in my opinion because I mean, his illusions get really hammered apart. He's a melee hero that requires on his ability to right-click, which, again, hexes really pull him apart. It really comes down to position and play, as most Chinese teams do, but I would not count on the Radiant team in terms of late game power if they want to take it late. And they definitely have the ability to take it late because of all the turtling ability.
But they might be forced to as well, just because it's both teams are going to have a very difficult time pushing into each other. And especially if you push against EHOME, if you get caught out of position, that's a team wipe. They're going to have Surge, they have Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift, Wave Form, 1,000,000,001 ways to chase you down and pick you off. So for IG, they cannot overextend at any point, which makes it, they might be forced to play a little more defensively than they would like to do. But 4 heroes group to the bottom. Screw that, they say, we're getting this tier 1. LD, you shut up, let us show you how it's done. They're going to start pressuring this tower. There is a push coming top, but not coming quite as fast as Norisar.
Yep, Marching Machine being dropped. No creep wave here for it to mow down right now, but making sure that Darkseid don't stay too close to his tower. Tornado chasing him away as well. And this creep wave is going to get knocked down so quickly. Illusion Room gets bottled by a Chaos Knight. I don't need it looking for the defense. There we go. Again, that creep wave with the shell getting knocked down. Tier 1 is going to go down for sure here. Question is, are they going to go for tier 2? Is there any reason for them to stop?
Apparently they're going to stop. The top tower pretty healthy. Faith is in position to start dropping some wards. Replicate was used. He should return top momentarily. That him being PCT. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. No. Okay, there you go. That would be unfortunate if he did. He'd miss about 30 seconds of farm time. But he's back, and now YYF. He's found a new home. This time on the bottom lane. He'll be spamming tower shot and really trying to pressure this lane. So, although they have a Windrunner, or excuse me, a Taker and a Prophet, who normally would be the heroes you'd expect to see doing the bulk of the split pushing, the bulk of the pressure. So far, it's YYF in the front line. Surge in onto MMY, looking for that fade, or looking for that telekinesis. Not going to find it, though.
Yeah, Rubik's level 6 now. We haven't actually talked about this, but any good spells that Rubik could take for himself?
He's got a great one already. Level 4 power shot. Good luck pushing against this plus Fade Bolt.
Well, they're still going to try. Those streams are extremely tanky. They may be low, but right now they're okay. And the mech up, that's going to do it here. The armor bonus, the HP bonus, and look at that. They're going to just survive all these nuke. MMY is going to have to turn back as a rearm laser, the rearm rocket is going to come right back in. Power shot just barely missing, but this tower, again, taking significant amount of damage. Chen Creep going to be tanky in the front. And look, again, another rocket. MMY survives with just 20 HP. He's got to back off, and this tier 2, well, still holding on because it's doing a lot of damage right now.
My eyes were on Lamb, who looked to be going for the backstab, but really, he can't run into that, so he just stands there, watches his tower take a bunch of damage, and now he backs off, roaming around, not really accomplishing too much. He is getting the runes, but he's basically been running around with those going for those runes since the illusion rune spawned. So it's been about 2 minutes. Nothing really accomplished. The one hero who is farming his pants off right now, that is PCT. 1,000 gold on him, but he's still not leading the way at all. In fact, in terms of gold per minute, we have Prophet and Tinker both tied neck and neck, 5,000 gold, 4,700 on the Windrunner. And aside from Chaos Knight, EHOME is pretty far behind. It really comes down to the tower gold.
Morphling is getting a Lincoln Sphere against 1 stun from the Windrunner. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they have Laser, they have Prophet ult. It's kind
right, that makes the Lincoln Sphere a lot less reliable against that 1 stun that you truly want to block, right?
Yeah, well, on the flip side, it means that he might just be completely immune to stuns. Instead of mostly immune to them in this game. But if you really want that, there's also a lot of magical damage. It does seem like a BKB would be the more logical choice for that defensive item pickup. He wants the split push. Not a bad idea versus IG, assuming you get it up in time. But here's the pressure bottom. IG is not going to let go. They get the tier 2 Chaos Knight ult used from a long way off. Surgeon into Reality Rift. Ferrari held in place. Lockdown. Something gets stolen. Everything going off at once here. Zhou taking a lot of damage in the middle of the fight. Standing toe-to-toe with PCT, the Tornado gets summoned, the Wand is used, he still wants to win this fight, PCT playing so aggressive, Waveboard cooling down, he'll get it, he waves back out, but too much burst, he takes a fall. And while that was happening, the rest of the team took a lot of damage, went down, 4 kills the way of IG in the space of about 20 seconds.
And the buyback here against 430 went down from the beginning, and he bought back immediately, teleported in the middle, and started dropping layers upon layers upon layers of Margin Machine. And that's not where you want to be. 430 taking some big damage right now. Should be fine. Oh, just barely. Zhou buys back as well. They want this Rax. They see the open. He buys back and goes straight Necrobook. Pops everything. How do you approach into this? He steals a Treant, which is absolutely huge for MMY. But again, it would not be enough as the Margin Machine will mow it down. Right now, the Radiant's waiting for the next creep wave to come in here and really mow down this tower, or at least bring the tower down to a significant amount of HP. K&J does have the Black Hole. He has a Blink Dagger as well. That's the item he rushed for, but will that do too much here?
There's no Darkseer wall yet. He's only level 9. Lamb is going to have an Ion Shell and Faith. They find their opening. 2-second stun on him. Faith will probably go down. Vacuum back. Miscommunication here for EHOME. They have an opportunity to get a kill. They don't go for it. And now Faith is back under that protective cover. March the Machine's dotting the sky. This is like having an entire air squadron just to protect a couple of troops on the ground. Just no way for EHOME to initiate here. And with this March spam, you're really not going to find the blink unless you circle around. And, well, he's not doing that right now.
How annoying it is to defend against this push. I mean, we talked about the defensive power of Rockets and March of Machine. They could push just as well. Look at this. You can't even come in here against this squad. If you even, if Tinker sees you, he will just rocket the hell out of you. Essentially has infinite mana, and he's showing every bit of it right now. Teleports back on the bot lane here. With the in between, oh, QQQ wants to initiate. He's surging in. Just kidding, he says. Gonna back off for now. That means EHOME can't do too much for a little bit while. Enigma constantly looking for the blink black hole. The question is, even if he gets a perfect 5-man black hole, how much damage can EHOME even do during that duration of that 5-man black hole?
There is a level 9 Chen who's got a mech, so if they don't kill this Chen, the fight will probably be a disaster for EHOME. If they kill him,
right.
If they don't kill him right away or force out a bad mech, and they're not stopping. They're going to go high ground again, even with MFI summoning the Treant. This tower slowly being worked down. 1 or 2 more pushes, and it's going to be out of mustard here. PCT with the big backstab attempt, but look at the Sentry Wards. Maybe not just in range to spot him out, but pretty close. The Ward about to die. The Necrobook summoned again. This tower is going down. Will they keep on pushing after that? Will they back off? PCT waveforms away. His great backstab foiled in the end. And they're not stopping. They're not stopping.
Base tower is going to get destroyed, man. We're talking about late game situation. We're probably not going to see a late game. Sprout and QQQ down to half HP. There is, power shot for the kill. Venomancer ultimate only hitting 1 here. The Venomancer, he's very tanky. He's actually out tanky. Blink in here against Faith. Eats a mouth. This should be fine. He's going to get sent back home. No big deal. But look towards him. He's going to TP to tier 2 and still go for it, perhaps.
This is unbelievable.
They're going to all back off. Wow.
Isn't it EHOME who had the pocket strat here? I mean, sure, we've seen early pushes from Prophet, Venomancer, Chen. You know, these are strong pushing heroes. But to go high ground at 19 minutes, no pipe, really just the mech is the big team item. This is ridiculous pressure. And they're not relenting. Yeah. They're still staying bottom. Faith will go mid to push the lane out, but he'll be right back to pressure bottom lane again.
And it looks like the big backstab is coming from the left. Lamb going right in. He sees Windrunner. He pulls her back. Reality Rift. Oh, Sprout onto them. Oh, man. And here comes the power shot. King J looking for the black hole. Shackle onto King J. They're going to focus down on Zhou. Zhou's going to get sent back. ATB back after healing up. And now we do see Morphling on the middle of everything. Sees a lot of low HP hero. QQQ is going to get brought down. Morphling gets completely trapped here. Where's the Sprout? No Sprout. The Shackle shot will hit. Has YWF actually missed a Shackle shot this game. Wait for him and TP. Will he make it? He will make it back home, but Lamb will not. He's sprouted in again. The right click coming in, and oh, the setback here.
Oh, he stole it.
What a play here from EHOME X, but I don't think those sneaky plays will be enough because they can't mow down the Screed Wave. Everybody's dead.
You know, they're very lucky Tinker didn't have buyback. It is on cooldown, but if he had it there, that's probably 1, if not 2 more kills, and then a certain Rex to fall. But instead, a buyback forced earlier on the Darkseer, and well, IG, they're gonna back off, and I do feel they could just back off, maybe get a couple more levels, try and get level 11 on the Chen, maybe 11 on the Venomancer. It seems like they're all very close to 11. If they get that and then go again, I don't think that's enough time for EHOME to get up the big items. They're a long way off from a pipe on QQQ. Do they even have the mech yet? No, they don't, because Enigma actually opted for the Blink Dagger. And then these drawn-out team fights, which have been pretty drawn-out, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and generally in a situation like this where you see one team keep on pushing one lane, you expect that team to lose in the long run because they're getting lower EXP, they're getting lower amount of farm, but throughout that push, the Radiant's earning more gold, the Radiant's earning more EXP because they've been killing a little bit more, and Tinker's constantly making sure every single lane's push. If you look at the total gold earn chart, 4 Radiant Hero is topping the chart, Morphling getting out-farmed by a Venomancer. That's the situation of this game right now for EHOME. How will EHOME come back? Can they come back? We'll have to wait and see as we see IG pushing this one more time. Oh, 2-man get right here. Babe gets picked up in there. Toss back. And that's a pretty good stun. The vacuum wall on top of everything. Sprout. Here we go. Where's the black hole? The black hole channel for half seconds gets immediately canceled. Oh no. King J's going to go down to Tinker, to Chun's right click, and now MMY is going to get trapped. He's going to TP out. Yes, he will. Hand of God comes in right now. Another decisive victory. Oh, is it over just yet?
Oh no.
He's going to get kicked off. Oh no, this has got to be the barracks, I think.
No black hole, even if Enigma buys back, not going to be the same hero. This Morphling, the Ring of Health, not doing anything for him in these team fights. But really, no matter what item he has, it's not going to be enough. This is a Morphling. This is a hero that needs at least one big item, usually a couple, to contribute, and they forced out a buyback on him. QQQ sprouted in place. Shackle shot is going to latch him to nothing. Waveform through by Morph. Good damage. Chuan still having the mech pulling down in 1 second here. We'll be able to mech the whole team alive, but the rats are the focus, taking a lot of damage. PCT dropping low. Sprouted in place. Waveform out. Should survive, but the rats continuing to be focused here. They're not going to get it. I don't think they're going to get it, but I feel one more round, one more push over the hump, over the hill, and IG are going to have a melee Rex at the bottom lane.
Yep, of course, there's no big ultimates that EHOME can rely on right now. The Black Hole down for another full 2-minute. Phantasm, I mean, it's a level 1 Phantasm, but if you want to count that as a game-changing ultimate, it's going to be down for another total of 100 seconds. Reality, well, the Wall of Replica is going to be back, but at this point in the game, how much damage does it actually do? As quickly IG push, that's how quickly they'll fall back as well, but they're being efficient when they're falling back. They're farming in the jungle, making sure they're ready for the next push when their ultimates are coming back online. Venomancer ultimate in a full minute, Wrath of Nature another full minute, Hand of God 30 seconds to go. And look at Chuan's play on Chen. Already a point booster, gonna be going for that Acceptor. That is insane. I don't think these guys could take a Hand of God every 30 seconds. EHOME just cannot defend against that.
Yeah, and I like this decision by IG. They're getting that next set of items up the levels that you've been talking about, and once they have it, this is only a temporary pause, guys. Don't think for a moment that IG is going to sit back and farm for 10-50 minutes. This will probably be about 5 minutes, maybe 10 at most. But after that, they're going to go all in with this push. They're going to have the overwhelming amount of items, I think, to be able to do it. PCT, pretty far deep in enemy territory, but it's QQQ who's really in the front line. Surge, but he gets sprouted at the perfect time. Vacuum in. Where's that? Oh, does it Amada. He goes down without getting it off. Is going for the mech. Doesn't actually get it. TP out attempted by MMY. The lack of change. He's going to live. That was real close.
Wow, man. If you TP any second too late, he would have been dead. I just wonder what the hell QQ was thinking. Are they trying to set up a very offensive gank, or
maybe
I just want to know the mindset because he was way out of nowhere.
It's you know, maybe they wanted to set up a fight without everybody on IG there, but you're up against a Tinker, a Prophet, and a Windrunner, pretty mobile lineup to put it mildly.
And a Chen.
Yeah, they're going to be there.
Yo.
Yeah, and even if you get one, even if you catch someone out, that Chen can keep them alive. And it's not like anybody's an easy kill on this team. Windrunner 1200 health, Venomancer 1200 and 30 there. The Tinker pretty squishy, but with Chen to help him, he should be okay. And the Prophet 1300. There's no easy kills on IG, and EHOME, their lineup is a bunch of assassins between the Chaos Knight, the Morphling. These are heroes that want to kill quick and get you out of the way as soon as possible, and they just can't do it this game.
They can't do it, but what this EHOME squad is also fairly efficient at is split pushing. Morphling very good against that. You can see he's applying pressure on the mid lane. Enigma's very good again. He's doing the pressure on the top lane. Now, normally this will slow down a team's push, but again, there's Tinker March, global nature. There's Wrath of Nature. Again, another global spell that will push out every single wave. So I don't think IG cares too much about it. Looks like we're going to get the Impulse, and here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Windrunner going for one of those hexes that you talked about, the Scythe of Vice on YYF. Not too far off. He'll probably be the first one to have it on his team. Prophet has opted for the Necro 3 that we've been mentioning to help them with this push, give them just a little extra meat to get over the hill. Venomancer, no big items, but has gone for those cheap, cost-efficient utility items, the Arcane Boots, the Drum of Endurance, the Urn, everything designed to keep this push going, to let it start as early as possible, and then to sustain it. As you know, it's been unrelenting pressure for the past 8 minutes now, if not 10.
Yeah. And this pressure will happen once again. The racks have regened up to about 500 HP. The ward's being set up. MNY is just stealing the best spell possible. And here we go, engagement happening. They see Ferrari, but he's mech backed up. Lamb fantasing it up. He sees Zhou. Can he right click down to Zhou? Down to half HP. Pulls him back here is the Morphling. Morphling on the middle. Everything will survive for now. King J looking for Black Hole, but gets shot down here by a power shot. The racks is taking big damage, but the wards are still built up. MMY is holding on the high ground, but the heroes are dying. 2 more death here for the Dire Squad. One of them is MMY, so no more new wards being put down for a little while. But these wards should be enough to hold them for the next 10 seconds.
Another fight where Darkseer didn't get his wall off right away after the vacuum. He does get it off in the end. It's looking okay for EHOME so far. Only 10 seconds to go, but will that 10 seconds be the downfall of this Rax? It's gotta fall now, right? They keep on pushing, Rax dropping low, right clicks, all the ranged heroes doing what they can. The Rax will finally fall with the March Machine marching overhead to victory, you might think, for IG. They get a 25-minute Rax with Tinker, with Prophet. Normally, this is all but a good game, but if any lineup could probably deal with this and turn things around, it is EHOME's lineup. So much team fight, so much burst damage. If they can find those items, Shackle Shot, what a shackle by YYF. Low ground to high ground, PCT held in place, should be okay. At PCT, we have not really talked about his item selection, but he has a hood of defiance this game. Oh man, now I've seen it all. Now I've seen it all.
Oh man, well, I was like, oh man, I don't think Lincoln Sphere is a good build. Apparently he agrees, but I'm not sure how good Hood is either. I mean, he just wants that early game item to wave in and start right-clicking and soaking up spell damage, but I'm not sure how effective it has been. But I want to say, whatever the result of this game might be, EHOME has held very splendidly. I mean, IG, we talked about their pushing power and how hard it is to defend against them. EHOME held for like literally 10 minutes since the push started. I think the push started around 15, and right now 25, they finally lost the racks. But this team is not fully capable of defending. It was MMY stealing those wards, stealing like, sent back with Holy Persuasion, stealing all these random spells, and they've been holding, but I'm not sure for how long they can hold because they ever lost 1 Rax. And here we go, the engagement will be happening. Rally Rift against Lamb, 4 seconds, stun, and then a spell being stolen. Faith gets picked off here. This is what EHOME needs to do. They gotta go for pick off. Cannot allow IG to clump up as 5 because it's gonna get so much harder. Another surge goes up. You see Zhou being sent back, and that would be it.
Yeah, out of jump charge at this point, the backstab, nope, just some illusions attacking King J. Here comes Prophet TPing in, has his nose, Necro 3s on cooldown. He's going to sprout, maybe a mistake here by Zhou. He is going to back off for the moment, and it looks like everybody's going to retreat. So EHOME, they find the pick off, and every time they find a pick, that buys them maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, at least as long as it takes that hero to run and join the team. Chuan opts for a Necro 1, and he certainly will be going towards the Necro 3, and this might be the cheese coming out from IG now, just mass spamming, sending units, just to sort of suicide for the cause here, and work down those tier 2s, or those tier 3 towers, which are the only 2 outer towers left on the map. The bottom tier 3 has been knocked down, all the other tier 2s, tier 1s are gone, wave in by PCT, and this is the nice thing about the Hooded Defiance. He can be super aggressive, Centaur's clapping, or Ursa's clapping. Shackle, how did that not latch? But in the end it doesn't. He'll be okay. Even if it lasts, I don't think they can kill him.
YYF only hits the hard shackle shots. The easy ones, he's like, yeah, whatever. Because there was a Sprout next to him, right? But it's all good. But
No
here
problem.
we go, again, the ward's being stolen. MMY is like, come at me, bro, I got this. But they will come, and the Mecha and Hand of God, I think IG is ready. And here we go, Blink Black Hole. That's going to be only on one, and are they going to try to kill Faith against Shackle Shot hits on King J? Send back against Faith. Faith is going to be fine, still drops his ultimate. King J's going to be going down. Lamb, look at him being sent back. He's chased away, and now look at PCT trying to mow down creeps. He's just right-clicking creeps in the middle team fight. He's going to bring it down, and EHOME, again, they hold it for now. But here's a problem. They're up against big creeps on the bot lane. So again, IG doesn't actually have to do big damage against the mid racks. Slowly, the bot creeps will just start to take more and more damage tower and push against that throne.
Yeah, not to mention, they're not farming at all, even if they're holding on. This is a team that needs more items, and they're not acquiring them. In fact, they're buying back most of the time. Here we go. Chuan, Reality Rift in, and then he just walks away. And this is a bad situation to be in. This Chen is far... Oh, the creep! Oh, that killed him off. Oh, I believe that was the last will there. And
Yes.
really, had Shackle Shot will latch on PCT and Lamb. Lamb is the target, can't morph the strength. PCT lives, but really, what is he going to do here? The pipe pop, a Morphling with no damage, just a tanky hero that, for the most part, IG is ignoring in these fights. And even with the ward spam, as much as they are putting up to defend this, IG sends that much more to try and knock the tower down. And I love this, they're ignoring the wards, they're ignoring the heroes, only focusing on the damn tower, because that cannot be resummoned, that cannot respawn. The pressure relentless from IG. A Necro Book was Ferrari's item choice as well, so mass Necros all around. Not something you see a lot from the Chinese, but MMY gets caught out, will be locked down and picked off by YYF, who keeps on finding the hero kills. I have no idea whose sports are which. Thank God for health bars. But it doesn't matter. This is a second set of racks, and Lumi, it's not over yet, but I just don't see EHOME coming back from this.
I really don't see him coming back as well. I mean, King J hasn't been hitting the black hole. There's the 3 or 4 man vacuum, but look at the right click, test of Faith. Huge damage. PCT is gonna get picked off, and I gotta tell you, GG coming real soon. There's a GG from 2Q, just on cue. See what I did there? And IG there, it's gonna take this game to game number 2. 1 game away, going to the grand finals. Yes, grand final of Beyond the Summit World Tour. Will they play against the winner of Tongfu? No, not Tongfu, what's it? It's EG and CLG. It's the other side of the bracket right now.
Yeah, this was only game 1 of IG versus EHOME. We are gonna have at least 1 Chinese team in the finals, but only fittingly, we will have at least 1 Western team there as well, like you mentioned. CLG or EG will be the opponent. For now, that does it for game 1. This is Beyond the Summits World Tour. Semifinals action coming your way. Game 2 will be coming up momentarily. I am LD. He is Luminous. We're going away for a moment, guys, but don't go anywhere. Don't you dare leave those seats, because we'll be coming back in just a few moments' time with game number 2. We'll see you there.